How's that look? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Friend Films World. I'm Nick Friend. It's really good to see you again. And yeah, so I challenged myself to try to use the worst camera I could get my hands on, which in this case was this guy. It is a Canon. I don't even know. I honestly wish that most lenses did that. Anyways, this is the Canon Vixia HF10. Now, this was actually given to me by my stepmom and my little brother. And yeah, it's not a good camera. It's by no stretch of the imagination is this a high quality image you're gonna get out of this camera. Specifically, it's 1440 by 1080, not even full HD. But okay, so I'll tell you the thing about this. So first of all, how much does this thing cost? I don't even know. I'm gonna look this up right now. Okay, so this camera has a starting bid of $11 with a buy it now option at $74.50. Not expensive. And I wanted to bring this up for a very good reason, which is that there's a lot of excuses about why not to do something, and one of the big excuses is not having the right equipment. And I've always thought that that was kind of baloney. Yes, better equipment does help get a better image. I'm not gonna argue against that at all. By no means would I argue against that. It makes total sense. But a lot of people don't work because they say that they don't have the right equipment to do it. And that's just simply not the case in a lot of instances. So I just wanted to go through a few things that I think are associated with using cheap or inexpensive gear. First thing about using cheap gear is a lot of people use it as an excuse to not do something, which is never the right move to do. If you want to do something, you do it. You don't let your hardware get in the way. And there's a lot of justification behind it where people would say, I don't think that my film is going to be as good as I think it can be in my head because I don't have the right camera to use. And to that, I challenge because, well, first of all, a lot of you know who Steven Soderbergh is. If you don't, he directed movies like Ocean's 11, Side Effects, Contagion, Logan Lucky, which is one of my favorites. He also directed a movie called Unsane, which is actually out right now, and he filmed the entire thing on an iPhone. And so if a big-time Hollywood director can use an iPhone to shoot an entire feature, you can too. Another thing to look at when you're using cheap gear or inexpensive gear is that you can think about it as kind of like a challenge because it locks you into a certain kind of style. So for instance, like with this camera, with the little Vixia thing, I kind of took like a homemade movie approach to when I was using that. So right now I'm going to show you a few clips that I gathered over the weekend.
Money.
Now, it's nothing crazy, but the point is the camera didn't get in my way of making content that I wanted to make in the first place. And I think the main point about it is that the gear that I was using didn't change the way that I shot the content. Like for instance, this is a Sony a7R III that I'm shooting on right now, but the way that I shot it would have been exactly the same. And the last thing I really want to go over with using cheap or inexpensive cameras or gear overall is that there's lower risk. You know, it's an opportunity to take some chances with how you make your content. So in some ways, using that camera was actually a little bit better because I wasn't worried about what was going to happen to it. It wasn't a big investment. Anyway, that's all I got for this week. I would like to say that there's a little challenge. I think you should go out and film a little 30-second thing with the worst camera that you can find and then edit that video together and post it in the comments. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of the content that you make. So see you guys later.